Damp. Lovely, moist, damp houses. Something that, do you hate that word? Something that we see all the time in the valleys. But sometimes you need to panic, you need to put extra contingencies in plan, and it is going to cost you a lot of money. Sometimes it might be something of nothing. So a lot of the time people confuse condensation, mold with damp. You know, one's easy to fix, the other one might require a bit more work. So it's really important that you know the differences so that you know then, is it going to be a deal breaker or is it not? So what are the most common causes?
Right, rise in damp. That is quite an easy one. Whenever you go into a property, you look at the skirting levels and normally you can see damp that's coming up from the floor behind the skirting boards. So rise in damp is normally relatively easy to fix. You can have the walls injected. It might be a bit more serious where there's a damp-proof membrane missing. So that could be extra cost as well, but it's worth checking.
It can be quite costly, that, because I missed that on my first project and it cost me an extra £5,000 that I just hadn't budgeted for. So knowing about that kind of damp and where it's coming from is crucial.
Yeah. The other type of damp is damp penetration. Now that is damp that's coming in through the walls. It could be cracks around the windows. It could be cracks in the pointing outside. It could be the cracks in the mortar. It could even be a leak in roof, believe it or not, and damp is going into the walls and then coming inside. So again, that's a little bit more in depth. It can be a little bit more difficult to solve or to identify, but normally you'll see that type of damp at high level or in the middle of walls or around windows. So it's penetrating from the outside in. And then the last one is condensation. You've probably seen on the news an awful lot lately. Black mold everywhere in kitchens and bathrooms. Very often it's caused by condensation. And the reason is because a lot of people, they don't open the windows, they maybe dry the clothes on the radiators, or they have a bath, there's no fan in the bathroom, and all that condensation goes onto the walls and turns into black, horrible, slimy mold.
It's poor ventilation really, isn't it?
One of the biggest causes, 100%.
Yeah, and that's quite easy to rectify. So a lot of people look at that and think, oh, we've got major problems, when actually it's not. So I hope you found this useful, guys. If you see damp, do not panic. There are definitely ways to deal with it. And for us, the worse the better, really. You just need to make sure you factored in the costings when you buy. But join us tomorrow to have a look at what else we look out for when viewing properties, which is the electrics. See you then.